Welcome to Monday's Doodle Club. How are you? It is a bank holiday here in the UK, and the weather is mixed, obviously. So welcome back. And if you're new, my name is Kate Field. I'm an artist and teacher, and I release content on a Monday and a Friday. Monday is doodle art, and Friday is all sorts of different sorts of techniques and skills that you can join in with, or you could take and adapt for your own art practice. I hope you're well. Right, we have started the May Daily Doodle challenge, so if you haven't joined in with that and you'd like to, it's not too late. The idea is that you do a little doodle every single day. I have put out a prompt sheet that you can pick up if you want to, and you could take these prompts as a starting point, or you can completely ignore them. It doesn't matter. The whole point is that we doodle every single day. And today's prompt is space. So that could be the space outside, it could be the universe, the planets, the stars, it could be the space under the stairs, whatever it means for you. So I am going to do my interpretation of space in my book for this week's Doodle Club. Let's go. I'm going to be using some Inktense pencils by Derwent and Polychromos by Faber-Castell. I'm going to do blues, greens with greys. That's how I'm going to start anyway. And we're going to see where we go from there. I'm going to put in some circles. So I've got some of my props to, oh, that's the ice cream. That is a very nice ice cream. Circle, got a bit distracted then. So let's start. Actually, I'm going to start by doing a border. This is going to be a very loose border. I'd quite like to start by doing a border. And I'm going to try not to get distracted by the ice cream. I'm going to put in some, I might go over some of these. I might remove some of the lines. There's my other little pot gone. There we go. Just drawing some circles. So this is just going to be like a fantasy space type doodle, I think, which I like. I think that's quite exciting. You can do lots of different things. I've also got my circles here, which on the stencil, so I think I might use some of those. That's quite liking that. Yeah, I think I might do, oh, let's do a big one over there. Going to see how it goes. Take a step back and see where things are going and what I might need to change. But we're just going to dive straight in. So I'm going to start off with my Inktense. This has got very mucky, this pencil, not quite sure why. I like Inktense. They are water soluble, but I'm not going to use water in this this drawing. They have a very different feel to the Faber-Castell. They have a different sort of texture to them. But I do like them, and I will blend both pencils together. There we are. So when I'm putting together ideas, I'm going to put in the other one now, I will refer back to my sketchbooks, think about what I want to do, So I'm planning my work, but I do make a huge effort to do some form of art every single day, even if it is just a little doodle, because it makes me feel better. To be honest, it just makes me feel better. So right, with this bit here, I'm just going to start to do a little bit of tone. And this won't make kind of logical sense, but that's not my point really. Actually, I'm going to do an inner rim. Let's do that. Take that line around there. Bring that up. I do love this colour. Sort of lime green. So thank you for your lovely comments. Really do enjoy reading them. If you haven't joined the Facebook group and you think that you might like to do that, and the link is below, so check that out. It's a very friendly group. We've only been going at this time, so this is this is the 6th of May 2024. So we don't have very many people in the group. The people who are there are lovely and very, very supportive, which is nice, because I know that there are people who watch my tutorials who are not experienced and who are just trying things out for the first time because they've been thinking about it for a while, and so maybe don't have the confidence of a more experienced person, and just seeing the lovely positive comments is really nice, because that really is my thing. I want to encourage everybody to participate in the arts in some form. Feel very, very passionate about it. The community art that I do is all based on inclusion and encouraging people to try new things. So that could be the dance stuff that I do, or it could be the community art projects that I get involved in, and the various workshops that I do locally, which is really nice. And in my one of the local groups that I do, the focus isn't actually on art at all. It's on having a chat and a cup of coffee, and that's brilliant as well. So I'm not doing any patterns on this at the moment. I think patterns will come a little bit later. Doing this sort of circular motion. Not too many lines. Just do that quite quickly, just to get that colour down, so I can have a look to see what else I need to do here, because I am quite liking this. But I'm thinking that some of these circles are a little bit too rigid, and I think we need a few sort of blobs, like those sort of asteroids that you get. I think I put just a few blobs on here. This is our spaceship going through the asteroid belt. That's quite fun. And it's when you start sort of building up an illustration
And certainly when I do this with working with children, young people, we will start doodling something and then suddenly stories start happening. And we go down a narrative, and that's just brilliant. We might not have started like that, but that's where we ended up. And that's really good. I love that. And it's very important that you just start. Don't think about it too much. And one of the reasons, like I've said many, many times, is that one of the reasons I like to work in a sketchbook is so that I can refer back to some ideas that I had. So with this one, for example, I may finish it, I may not. I don't often completely finish things in my sketchbook, but I know that if there's something about it that I really like, I will come back to it. And that I might not come back to it for a year, but it will be in my mind, and it will be just that starting point of something. So I might get involved in a show or an exhibition. I think, yeah, I could use that kind of idea and do that. And that would be good. So, yeah, I build up collections of work, one that I'm doing at the moment, and again I will refer back to my sketchbooks. Now this effect I like, so I've put down like a bit of a rough background. We're using the same pencil, same colour. I'm just putting in some marks as little scribbles. Now sometimes I don't want to see my pencil mark at all, other times I absolutely do. I'm thinking this is the time where I want to see. Ooh. So if you haven't liked or subscribed and you think that this is something that you would like to do, then that would be lovely. It'd be very nice to have you on board. Put your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you're doing for May Doodle Challenge, or if you're watching this in July or August, tell me what you're doing. That would be really nice. And tell me where you're from. That has been the real joy, or one of the real joys of starting this channel, is connecting with people from all over the world, which is quite lovely. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just sort of building up this kind of scribbly bit. I'm just going to sharpen my pencils. I am actually really liking this sort of texture, so I've just done another one here, but this one here is very smooth and I like that as well, so I'm going to continue with a smooth little planet. Just putting those bits in there. Now obviously you can use whatever colour you like. As you can see that I'm using these blues and greens, so they're all on the same side of the colour wheel. They're analogous colours, which means that they will work together. And then I've just added the greys. I might add some browns as well to give it a more muted effect. So I'm just sort of building up that tone in this little planet here. And then we're going to go into blue over this side. Before doing this, I did actually pop over to NASA's website because they have got the most amazing photos. You can kind of lose yourself for several hours if you let yourself, but oh my goodness, quite extraordinary. So that was kind of my starting point. And if any of you use Pinterest as a resource, over the years I've built up a very big catalogue of ideas and thoughts, so you can use those if you want to. So I'm quite liking that, sort of building that up. And then these little rocks I'm going to do as rougher as well. So just making those quite scribbly. I think I'm going to put a bit of grey on this one. And then once I've done my overall colours, then I'm going to start to build up the tone, and that is when things start to get quite exciting. I quite like that. See, I'm quite liking this sort of loose, this combination of a very loose texture in contrast with the smooth. Not quite sure what I'm doing with this big one. I think I might just put some more shades of green on it, quite lightly, because then I can put something over the top. Let's do this quite quickly. Get some colours down. Yeah, I'm not sure about that ring bit. Let's just put some background in. Put some grey. Just all looking a bit too bright. I'm using the flat edge of my pencil. You can see I'm holding it in a slightly different way. Gives you a different effect. So don't be afraid to change the way you hold the pencil. Yeah, that's better actually. That's I kind of wanted to have more of an effect on here. Okay, now this means, let me just going to get my little post-it note to lean on actually. I'm going to pick up the outside of this like this with the grey, and I might just go over the top of that in a navy blue a little bit later when I've had a look at it, fading out as we're coming around this side. Darker as we're around here. Like that. So I'm imagining the light source is coming from this direction. Of whatever star or sun is shining on my little collection of planets. Let's just building that up there. Making that a little bit darker. Fading it out. And then same colour, this time on the inside of my little planet. This is a moon. This is a little green and blue moon. Can you see what's happening now? Quite liking that effect with the grey, and I will build up that kind of idea on some of my asteroids as well, and then we'll come back and I'll show you what I'm going to do with these ones. So I've added a little bit more tone using a darker grey, and I've just put another jumper on because it's got really cold. I am very fed up with the weather, but I'm not going to go on about it. Not much. I'm not going on about it much. Now, let me just see. Yeah, so I'm just can you see that I'm building up this idea just around these larger planets, and I will add a touch of navy blue, I think. And I've just dropped that one on the floor. Oh. Okay, let's put that back in. So when I've got my colours, I do keep them organised so that I can pick out the ones that I use most frequently, but also where I know that they will go together well. I'm just building that up here, which I really like. So these ones down here, I had a bit of an idea that I would do these in a purple, and I am going to use purple and pink, but I'm going to mute down the tones of the colours, so there's just like a hint. I'm just going to put the base colour down quite roughly at the moment. I'm going to work on top of that. But I had this idea that if I go in, I'm imagining that this planet is behind this moon. There we go. Build that up. So pressing harder as I get to the edge, and then just easing up. It's really nice. And then I'm going to take my pink, this is a magenta, and I'm just going to do as if this planet has a bit of a glow around it. A shimmer, a little shimmer planet. Like that. And then where I've just put the purple, I'm going to go over the top with the magenta. And I wanted to have this contrast between a colourful planet and then a more neutral toned moon. Just sort of see how that worked, and I do quite like that. Just going to bring that purple on this bit of the moon. So we're just picking up a little bit of the shadows. So this is a much longer doodle for the daily doodles for May, and it's nice to give yourself time. Well, it's really important, I think, actually, that we give ourselves time. This is a very dark blue. not quite black. I don't think I'm going to use black at all actually in this piece. To get my really dark tones, I'm going to use dark blue and dark green. I like the effect that that has. Just building that up a little bit. Take this purple here. You see, just sort of building up that contrast makes it really quite exciting. Now I've started to put some grey in the background here, which I'm going to continue with actually, just to get rid of the white of the page. So we go right all the way over those, that bit there as well. And then I'm going to do this this little planet as well, which I'm also going to do in purple. Just going to put the base colour down, and there we go. Just give that. That's quite. I might make it a little bit scribbly. And then I can build that. And this little moon here is also going to be purple, because I want you to see how you can build up the tone using the same colour, or the same combination of colours. It would just get a really interesting effect. Building up. Remember, my light source is coming from kind of back this way, so the shadows fall this side. I think if you can be consistent with your light source, that can bring a cohesion to your work. I'm losing that bit of my pink shimmer, so I'm going to put that back in. That's quite fun. Okay, let's build this one up. Because we are nearly done. I think it's quite effective when we put in these contrasts. It's like we get rid of the lines. Might do something with my asteroids as well. It's not a sentence that I use every day. Sounds like I've got some kind of disease. Oh dear. That's and then over this side of this little moon, building that together as well. And I'm going to finish this off a little bit and then show you the end result. So I've added a few more bits of tone and bits more shadows, and that's it finished, I think. I might come back to it and do a little bit. I quite like this, quite like the movement, and I'm actually really liking the colours. So I hope you've enjoyed this session and that you've done a lovely doodle as well.
Thank you for joining me for Doodle Club, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.